Vibes Show fans. Welcome to the Season 12 premiere of the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry, proud of Special Chronicles Arc. Hope you have listened to all of Seasons 1 through 11, as well as the recap specials and my special series on my training up to and the results of my training called the Road to 2022 USA Games, which is sort of encompasses my whole training regimen and the results I did at the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando, Florida. So, as I mentioned, I dropped in the season 11 recap. I decided to focus this season on something that I actually personally do. I know a lot of people do it as well. And I think a lot of people kind of need to have a better understanding of it. I feel like it deserves a lot of appreciation, positive vibes, supportive vibes, and uplifting vibes. So, the season 12 theme for this season is stimming. So, if anyone doesn't know what stemming is like a self-regulating behavior. For me, I have several different forms of stemming. It's common within people who are neurodistinctive, but it's also common with people who are not neurodistinctive as well. But if you think about it, though, some people think, oh, it's distracting, it's annoying, this and that. And I'm going to go throughout this season talking about certain ones in there. So obviously, I think about it in general. So basically, a definition I have here, I'm going to read this off from Healthline.com, and it states here, the word stemming refers to self-stimulating behaviors and usually involves repetitive movements or sounds. So, if you notice any movement there, I'm physically looking at the definition right now, guys. So, if you hear someone doing grunting or someone doing a rocking motion, someone tapping their feet, nail biting, frilling their hands, all that, there's a lot of them out there. That's what stemming is. I think we take it for granted that people need to self-regulate themselves because telling us not to could end up doing something bad. And for me, my most common one is the rocking, a low volume grunt, and believe it or not, tapping my foot. There's also other ones I do with my hands. There's another one where I move my foot back and forth at my desk at work with a little soccer ball. So there's a lot of forms of stemming that a lot of people don't get to understand. And I think focusing on this subject, it kind of is towards my heart talking about, but it's also kind of a thing important for people to talk about as well because we all do it. I think we just don't realize part of our lives evolves around this self-regulating behavior. I think some people try to make us stop, which is not good to do because we need to do stimming because it helps us regulate our emotions. And if we don't, that's it. But also, technically, stimming can also involve having a stuffed animal, which technically have two stuffed R's. Proudly named Oscar, Oscar who's a river otter, and Sebastian, who's a sea otter. So, yeah. And they literally are with me when I'm at work at home or at work in my office. They're just there to chill. They're just there to chill, but if I need to like grab something or hold on to something, they're there for me to grab. And that's a form of stimming too, just having that stimulation to control one day. Because I think, like I said, people don't understand why we do it. I think I don't even understand why I do it. I think I just do it because it's just a motion I'm used to doing. But also, it's not familiar with people. Like it doesn't. The mode of I'm gonna say this honestly. The mode of stemming itself does not. The mode does not fit everyone. Everyone does it differently. And I think how we look at ourselves that way is important. I think it's well known that stemming is normal. Stemming is normal, guys. And I think people don't appreciate that fact. I think those who are forcing us to stop doing it are trying to conform to society's needs and everything. So like, conform to society's standards and rules and everything. And I think reality is no one really conforms to that. Honestly, half the time, to be honest, which is actually it's most people do. Rephrase that most people do, but like. Neurodistinctive people have to do it, but then they're forced to do masking and everything to do it. So stemming for us is our way to regulate ourselves, and I think even forcing us to stop doing that. As I get tired, like even on a plane, I am tapping my hand to like sort of regulate myself during the flight or tap and foot. I'm trying to do something to keep myself good. I think it just keeps myself regulated. I think people need to understand. I know people need to understand this is. We're all unique, and stemming is part of it. I think there's a thing of this, and I think people just need to understand that stemming is just normal. It's just normal. And you can't stop it. And throughout this season, I'm going to talk about different forms of stemming. So I'm going to look up like 11 forms. I may actually make season 13 following us up on it as well. But in 13, I'll probably have some guests on to talk about their various forms of stemming. I just had to line up people for it and get sort of send them the questions, and then I'm going to do a back and forth feed on doing it. So it's going to be fun to talk about all this stuff. So I just remind you folks that our great sponsor, the Special Chronicles, there has this amazing thing we have to always say every time. So, of course, because we're part of the Special Chronicles, there we have us. But hey, it's a good thing to talk about. So here we go. The Good Vibe Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast. If you love the Good Vibe Show, then you love the other podcast on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. So FYI, my podcast is The Good Vibe Show by me, Jerry Holley. And one Twitter is also known as X, but I like to call it Twitter. Just preference. And to support the podcast on the Special Chronicles Network so we continue our mission of giving respect to voice with people with special talents and abilities, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. So obviously, that's a great thing. As for me, I have mentioned my Redbubble shop quite a few times, but I actually have a stemming design out there saying, shush, I'm stemming. I might actually expand upon that a little bit more. I'm going to have an experiment with it, obviously. But go look up my name, Jerry M. Holley, on Redbubble. There's a lot of cool things you can check out there. There's a lot of fun things, 97 designs. I'm trying to maybe get to 100, hopefully. But also remind you folks to go the Good Vibes Show on Instagram at Good Vibes by JH. And on Facebook, facebook.com/Good Vibes by JH. YouTube is also same Good Vibes by JH. But also subscribe to the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Holley, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm actually almost at 1,300 plays and listens. I'm like, wow. And I think this has not been around for maybe more than a little over 4 years. That's impressive, folks. And I just want to say that's a big thing we've done. I really hope you enjoy this season, folks. I know talking about this subject might irk some people, obviously, but the point is, one, it's something close to my heart, but I think it's also close to a lot of people's hearts too. So I just want to thank you all again for tuning in, and I hope you all tune in the rest of season 12, folks. So until next time, peace out, boop, blah, and have a great week, everyone. I'll see you next time for episode 2 of season 12. Bye, everyone.